So the kids are busy having a little play this morning, so I thought I would use this time to start sowing some of my first seeds. So that's what I've done. I've set myself up on the table here, and I thought I would just share with you these seeds that I'm going to sow first of all. So firstly, let me introduce you to a seed that I sowed in the autumn of last year. Me and my little girl, we thought we'd sow some basil. We really wanted some basil for over winter in the house. So we sowed this basil and we waited and we waited and we waited. Nothing happened until a few weeks later, all of a sudden one little shoot appeared, and I planted loads of basil and one little shoot appeared, and we were really excited. We thought, oh yes, that's it, we're gonna have some basil. And we let it grow, and we let it grow, and we let it grow. And one day we looked at it and we thought, that's not a basil. So let me introduce you to my basil. Here it is. This is my basil. He's a tomato seed, and he must have managed to get in there somehow. Obviously, if you can see him, he is super leggy. I couldn't bear to throw him away. He looks so healthy. Obviously he's not looking so healthy now, but he did look really healthy in the autumn. So I've just let him grow really, and I thought what I'm going to do, hopefully, when the weather gets a bit nicer, I'm hoping he's going to side shoot something off, and then I'm going to try and grow that on, because I've got no idea what type of tomato this is. Might not even be one that I had last year, because when we were sowing them, we were doing them outside, so it could have really been anybody's from around the allotment, so I don't know. So that'll be a surprise. So for now, he's just been living in the house. He's been overwintering. I mean, he's not doing too bad really, but it's just super leggy. Really, I don't know if you can see that, it's super thin, and does fall over if he's not tied up. But yeah, I just couldn't bear to throw him away. So hopefully it'll give me a nice little side shoot, and we can grow that one on and see what type of tomatoes we get. I'll be a mystery surprise tomato. So that's that one. That's my basil tomato. It's always funny, isn't it, when things like that happen? And I did wonder why the basil was taking so long to come up. There you go. That's why, because it was a tomato. So the other things that I'm planting today, I'm going to be doing, I've got some of my homemade compost that I'm going to be planting in. I don't know if I can show you the mix that I've got. So this is just some homemade stuff that I dug out of my compost bin yesterday. And what I've done is I've mixed it with some sort of builder's sand that I had in the back garden here. I've mixed that together, and I'm going to see how it grows, because just at this time of year I find it a little bit pricey to be buying seed compost. It's all right once like the other places start having some compost out. You know, Aldi and Lidl did a really great compost last year at a really good price, but until then it's just a bit expensive to buy it, because I always find you use quite a lot as well when you're doing seedlings. So I'm going to try this way and see what happens, because it's really early anyway. If it goes wrong, it goes wrong, and I'll just use something else. But I think I've got pretty good compost going from everything that went into it last year. So we'll see, and we'll see what happens. Because I just think, well, if you were putting it in the ground, you'd put it straight into soil, wouldn't you? It doesn't really go into anything special. So we'll see how that goes. So I'm going to try to put in some peppers. I've got some red pepper. They're home saved from last year, from the best ones that we had. And I've also got these Tangerine Dreams as well. I'm going to put those in today. We loved them last year. They were like a small salad pepper, so they had a little bit of heat to them, but not too much. So they were really nice for going in salads, and we use them a lot. So I managed to save some of the seeds from those. If I'm honest, I had a pretty abysmal seed saving last year at the end of the year. So that's what I managed to save from those. I'm also going to put in some dark red Rhoden, which was my absolute favourite last year. I don't know if there's some videos going back where I talk about this stuff. At one point in the spring, my allotment was just covered in it. Everywhere you looked, there was this lettuce, and it was an amazing lettuce, and it lasted, you know, right the way through until I replaced it when it started going to seed really in the summer. So this is some of the seed that I've saved. I've saved a lot in there. So I'm going to start some of that now, and I'm going to keep this. This is going to be one that I'm going to keep in the house, see if it grows and I can use it in the house, because it's still a little bit cold with, you know, the snow and everything outside. So I thought it'd be good to grow this indoors for now and see if we can get a few lettuce leaves to use indoors. So I'm just going to grow that in just a milk carton that I've got here. So I'm going to grow that in there. What else have I got to do? I'm going to put some spring onion in, some white Lisbon, and then I've got some tomatoes that I'm going to put in. as you all know, I had a turbulent tomato season last year. They drove me absolutely crazy. So this year I'm gonna order some other tomatoes. I haven't done it yet because I'm still umming and ahhing about what varieties I want to plant. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to put in my favourites from last year's seed and just have a few of those to start with. So I've got the black opal, which I really liked last year. I found that when they came, they weren't black at all. They were just like a really dark red. The Bourguise, they were quite a big one, and they grew really nice tomatoes. And then I've just got an Alicante that I didn't use last year. This was a sealed packet, so I'm going to use the Alicante as well. And then I've got a couple of tomatoes that are just surprise bags. The council came round and gave everybody a free fruit tree last year, and they also gave some saved seeds to us. So I don't know what they are, they just say tomato. So I'm going to pop those in as well, and there'll be another couple of surprises. They must just be a standard tomato. And then I've got some onion seeds again that the council gave me last year from his saved seeds. So I'm going to try to put the onions in as well. I'm going to multi-sow them into one of these bigger containers. So that's the onion. And the last thing that I'm going to put in today is my home saved coriander as well. So I saved a lot of coriander seed because you know what they're like when they go to seed. There's thousands of them. So I've been using these in the kitchen for cooking with. So I'm going to plant some of these now as well. I've got another milk carton and I'm going to plant those and see if we can have some coriander inside the house. So that is what I'm doing today. So I'll point you downwards if you want to have a look while I plant them and see where we go. Okay, so the first thing to go in is the Rhoden. And because it is home saved, it has got quite a lot of fluffy stuff in it as well. So we'll put it in. We'll see, there's plenty of seeds in there as well. So I'm just going to pop that in there. And then I've got to go in this carton is the home saved coriander, which is much easier to separate because it just comes in little balls. So I'll put the coriander in as well. I'll put quite a lot of coriander in, hopefully we get a nice patch going. Okay, so that's the coriander and that's the lettuce. So that's those done, nice and easy. And next I am going to do some of the smaller ones. I'm actually prepared this year, be amazed. I've written out all my tags, which I always do at the beginning of the year, and then as it gets further into the season, somehow I think that my memory is amazing and I'm just going to remember everything. And then I realise that it's really not amazing and I've got no idea what's growing anywhere. So I'm going to try and make a big effort this year to actually know what I'm growing, which is always super helpful. So I think in these ones, they're only these small size. I think I'm just going to put one of each seed in and see what we get at the end. See what actually grows. So I'm not open these yet. These are the Tangerine Dream. Let's get a couple of those in. So I think maybe I might do just 4 for now, because there's always the chance that it's all going to get too leggy, isn't it, at this time of year, because it is quite early still in January. I don't think I did any of these last year until February, so I might put 2 in each one. We'll put 2 in each one. And we'll just do 4 for now. So they've come out really nice. They're just like the little ones. And we'll put 2 in here and 2 in there. There. Right, so that's the Tangerine Dream. So we'll do 4 of those. That's probably a good amount, isn't it? Right, so that's Tangerine Dream. And then I've got just the plain red pepper. So what we'll do is we'll do 4 of them now. But I'm going to do more of the red pepper, but, you know, like I said, it's still a little bit early, isn't it? Some people, it goes really well for doing it early. Last year, my early plants, they did get a bit leggy. The tomatoes, though, it's all right because you can bury them, can't you? Down further when you put them in, so it wasn't too much of a problem for the tomatoes. It's just because I'm up north, the weather stays colder for much longer, and there's a chance of a frost till quite late, which means they live in the house for a lot longer than some people's do. But that's just a risk you've got to take, isn't it? It's worth a try. we'll see what happens, and if it goes wrong, it goes wrong, doesn't it? So it's only early. So I'll put my tags in because I'm going to forget. So we've got Tangerine Dream in there, red pepper in there. What else did I say? I was going to put in some tomatoes, didn't I? So I've got, let's put the secret tomatoes in. So we don't know what these are. Let's go with a couple of these. I think there's only a couple in the pack. Yeah, 2. They didn't exactly go wild with the seeds they were giving out. There's 2 in there. They got a bit stuck together. And I've got another one, haven't I? Here. We'll put these ones in as well. So there's another 2 mystery tomatoes in there. Oh, I think there was 3 there. Right, I haven't written a thing out for that, so I don't know what we'll call it. We'll call it allotment tomato. Allotment tomato in those 2. And then we'll go with some of the Alicante. Last year I did really well. I can't remember when I sowed them. I think it was about the 1st or 2nd week in February. And I think I had about 100% germination on all of my tomatoes and all of my chilies that I did, which was really, really good. So we'll fill up this one. So this is what I do. So now, right, I'll think, oh, I know exactly what's going on here. I'll know that these 2 are just that one, and I'll know that all these are Alicante. But I won't. I'll come back to them in a couple of weeks, and I'll have no idea what I've put where. Makes it more exciting sometimes, doesn't it, when you don't know what you're going to get. Right, so that's Alicante. I think I put way too many in there, but never mind. And then we got this Bourguise. These were really nice last year. They were really, really big, huge tomatoes. They were really good. I wish I'd saved some of the seed from them, really, because they grew really well as well. So put 2 in each one of those. Right, and then the last 4 is we'll put the black opal in. That's those ones, and then we'll put the black opal in the last 4. I hardly got any of those left anyway. A couple in each. These were really nice last year. I'm sure it was these ones. See my memory again. But I'm sure it was these ones that were. That didn't grow black. They were like grew like a dark red, really dark red, and they were really nice and really sweet. But that is my memory, and it might not have been these ones. It's just what I think that I thought. Right, so then I've got black opal. So that's all of those. I've got stuff here that I can cover them up with, but we'll do that in a bit. We'll cover them over. So that's those, and then in here I thought this would be a good one for multi-sowing, because it's a bit of a bigger container, and I did a lot of multi-sowing last year. So what I thought I'd do, we'll use these onions. So these are the free onions from the allotment. Don't know what they are. So I'm just going to put a few in each one. That's what I did last year, and they grew really well. One thing I haven't got in yet is my broad beans, so I'm going to have to do them as well at some point. I did have some overwintering broad beans, but they died in that first frost we got in December. I'll show you up the allotment, but yeah, they all died. It was too much for them. Right, so I've done, these ones have got onion in. 3, 6, 9 multi-sown onions for now. And I'm going to put spring onion in the other side. Right, so that's where the onion's up to. And then I got some white Lisbon. Multi-sow some of those in there as well. My multi-sowed spring onions last year did really, really well. And I had quite a lot of them. And I found it so much easier having them all multi-sown rather than individually sown. I found it so much easier just pulling 1 or 2 out of the ground as I went. So that really worked for me last year, so I'm going to do that again this year. So we'll have those as spring onion, those as normal onion. So yeah, that's everything I'm going to put in for now. We'll see what grows, what doesn't. Like I said, it's really early in the season anyway, so if it doesn't work or they get too leggy, I'm going to try and succession sow now as we go, so I'll probably leave it a couple of weeks. I'm going to order some more tomatoes and we'll get the next lot of tomatoes in and some more chilies as well. I've also got a couple of chilies that are just fresh chilies. They're dried and I've just split them open. They're just ones that I've been using throughout the winter from my chili plants. They've just been sat on the window ledge. They've lasted really well, but I've split them open and these ones have got some lovely looking seeds inside. So I'm going to pop them in as well, I think, and see if they grow just from fresh, just straight out of the chili, straight into the pots. We'll see what happens there. So yeah, that's it from today. I'm going to go and check on what the kids are up to now. See, they've been quiet for far too long. So I'm going to go and see what they're up to and I will see you soon. Bye bye.